glory to the Holy Ghost. In the book of Hebrews chapter 13, the verse 17, the Bible actually made it very clear. It says, submit yourself unto them who have rule over you. It says, they watch over your soul. It says, submit yourself also unto them, that they may give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for it is profitable unto you. One of the things we ought to understand and we ought to know is that every man of God that you are under in your church, every man of God that you are under, that man of God has rule over you as he or she watches over your soul. Now, the man of God you are under can make you or he can make you or he cannot make you. How? The man of God you are under can make you or make you. So we are in the dispensation that most of the church members, the very weakness they are walking in, they contracted the weakness from men of God. Let's hear this from Apostle Arome Osayi. Let's hear this from the Apostle of God. Let's hear him.
These 7 metaphors I just unveiled to you are descriptive of counterfeit Christianity. And the source of counterfeit Christianity is the work of the Antichrist. The Antichrist is trying to ensure that the full import of the grace of God does not find expression in your life. He makes you an orphan by ensuring that you will not know the Holy Ghost. He makes you a traveler by ensuring that you will not have conviction in God. Your soul will not be rooted in realities that are true in God. It makes you a dog when you are still a slave to the habits that you left. Makes you swine when you become comfortable with sin. Makes you a widow when you don't understand government and you do not seek him after the due order. And that's what was responsible for the death of, what's that man that's Uzzah? He wanted to use his hands to stabilize the ark, but that was not the prescribed order. Which is when you come to the field of government that you understand the lengths that God will go to ensure that you are under the influence of his spirit, because you can never become apart from his spirit. And finally, bastards. Those are such people that lack discipline, and because they lack discipline, their faults from when they were young believers will grow with them until they become senior ministers. They become bad examples, bad representatives of Jesus Christ, bad examples of the believers. And people, because that's the only pastor they have, they take his weakness to be the standard, and they begin to fall in the area of that weakness that they have seen in their leader. And the end of the day, the church becomes weak. It cannot fight the beast that the devil releases into the land. Can you go to the book of Malachi? Still talking about bastards. Are you there in Malachi chapter 3 verse 16? Still talking about bastards. Finally, please take a good look at the metaphors and find out which one sounds like you. If you come today as an open book, ready for the touch of Jesus, it will enlarge your scope. You know my story. I was a chronic liar. An intelligent liar. Yes. At the age of 12, I sent my father to Modern Market as April Fool. My wife's father. that did PhD. I sent him to the market. Because when he got there and came back, he didn't see the things I said. He says, April. He nearly dealt with me. But I had already done what I had in mind. In those days, because I was one of the youngest, if you are angry, they will slap you. If the elder ones are angry, they will still slap you. So we had to find ways of survival. One of such ways in the flesh was lying. I became a master. I'm talking about the lies that it's only in eternity they will find out that this thing was a lie. It's well covered, well handled, and I was growing in it. And if you are growing in those things like that, it means a spirit is involved helping you. So at that point I needed deliverance, but because if I'm under any small pressure, the trigger will come out. The spirit was involved. It's just like you can start fornication casually. You do it every Friday night. You pray about it, you execute on Friday. A time will come, if you want to stop, you can't stop again, because the spirit is involved. Then you will need the hand of God to break the yoke. In order for him to break the yoke, he will take you through a circumstance. And when you come out, you become a Puritan. I don't need to tell you what he took me through. When you come out and the suggestion comes for you to lie, you will remember how he took you from the sheepcote, and you will calm down. He said, then they that fear the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear the Lord and thought upon his name. There shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in the day that I make, when I make up my jewels. There is a day he will make up his jewels. How are jewels are inorganic? The way they are formed is that metals are subjected to high temperature and pressure. So God will subject you to high temperature and pressure, and then your former constitution and configuration will melt away, and a new nature will spring out. That nature is concrete. That nature cannot support that infirmity, and under the same circumstances you operate according to the new nature. It is chastening of the Lord that produces that result. And if you lack those dealings from God, the Bible calls you a bastard.